Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, it feels like it's been forever, huh?
It's been quite a long time, but there's been so much going on.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Like, yeah. It's like good changes, geographical changes, job changes, all kinds of changes.
absolutely.
That's the reason
Absolutely.
why I'm sitting in a place that is, I probably will echo a little bit, but a place that is pretty bare. I'm getting ready to put my stamp all on it. But yeah, exciting.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to CruBouge. I am Des,
I am
and
bro.
and we are just two noir goddesses that love to talk about wine.
We do, we do. We absolutely love it. We absolutely love to talk about wine. And it's so funny because in homage, was homage? Homage? Oh yeah. I think of my return to the DMV. We have like some great wines on tap.
Yes, I was just about to ask. Well, first ease into it. What are your high? I mean, you have a lot of highs, but what are your highs that you want to share with our listeners?
Highs are my new gig. Absolutely love my team. So like I'm excited about that. Got a new cute little place in Northern Virginia. So I'm pretty excited about that because I'm gonna be working in Virginia. I don't believe in sitting in traffic. I just don't. So I live where I work. Um, in any case. But yeah, that's a high move. It's kind of like, it's in the process still going on, but I'm excited,
Yeah,
it's hot girl summer coming up.
hot girl summer.
so so what's been going on with you, Dad? Share some of your highs and like what's been going on for the past couple of weeks.
Like there's a lot of highs. There's a couple that I don't know if I'm ready to share yet, so hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, things have just been good. Oh, I do have one high I can share. I got my certificate in my official certificate in pen in the mail, so it is official. I can now add it to my resume that was set level 2 certified.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Here,
so yeah, that's
here,
definitely something I can
here.
share. I can share that I am also going to be moving. Look at us both moving. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
moving to another state though. I'm moving just a little bit closer to Napa. I wanted to move to like Napa proper, but let's say I'm 10 minutes closer. I'm going to be in Berkeley. So I'm
Okay.
just a little bit closer. Uh,
Lovely.
Good stuff. All good stuff.
I love that Berkeley area. I do. I'm going to
I
be
do.
one
I
of
mean,
those
I love
people.
my area now.
Hmm.
I'm gonna miss like the little shops and being able to walk to the grocery store and my favorite coffee shop. But I also
There's
will
so much
not
there.
have to deal with. There's a little bit of traffic. Like if anybody in the Oakland area knows, like this route that you take to get up to like go north, it's just always full of traffic, and so I can bypass like that headache
Mhm.
whenever I'm driving up to Napa or going to see family or whatever. So that'll be great.
Yeah, that is awesomeness. So awesome. I'm so excited for you.
So
So,
excited for you.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, so much good stuff, like it's so much good
Yeah,
stuff going on. It's exciting. It's so exciting.
it's definitely like just good vibes all around, knocking all that negative stuff out. If it
Yes,
starts to creep in, it's like, don't have time for that. Get
we're
out the
out.
way.
We're
Got
out.
stuff to tend to.
Exactly. Nothing but good stuff. Nothing but good stuff. So I was so excited when you said that you had this bottle that you wanted to try. That's a local wine. And, now that I'm back in the DMV, local for us is Virginia.
Virginia wines, which is like I have so much love for Virginia wines. I feel like it's not mentioned enough.
Hmm.
And a lot of people think that Virginia wines aren't nearly as good as like some of the other, regions, but I think Virginia wines definitely there's some great ones out there. We're going to talk about it today,
Yeah.
but why don't we dig into it? What are you drinking?
So I am drinking from Blue Valley Winery.
Hmm.
Of course, they're a vineyard as well.
Okay.
2018, a Chambourcin Rosé. And
I've never heard of Chambourcin Rosé.
Okay, so I don't know if you all can see how, okay, let's see if we can get the color right. See if we can get a good, there we go. Okay. Now you can kind of see how dark it actually is.
Yeah.
So Chambourcin is, and it's funny because when I saw it, I was like, what is going on with this? You know, because I had never had it myself. This is what it looks like in the glass. Beautiful. I mean, absolutely gorgeous, right? And this is the rosé. So Chambourcin is it's a purple grape. So the skin is great. The skin of it is purple. However, the flesh of it, when squeezed, is pink. And I'm going to butcher it because I'm not French and I don't speak French well, but it's Tinturier. So Tinturier means, you know, it's pink flesh, and that's the reason why it's the color that it is. And you would kind of automatically think that, oh, this is sweeter. It's not. This is off dry. Pretty big berry, but this grape, because I'm telling y'all I did my homework. Y'all gave me a little time to get it together. I'm like, I did my homework. So the Chambourcin, or Chambourcin, whatever, it's a newer grape. It was commercialized in 1963. Wow. By it's a French-American hybrid, and his name is Johannes. It's like Fevye. So save. You can say, you know, or seve, you know, I'm not sure. All the French-speaking people can correct me. But it was popular, honestly, in the 1970s. It was popular initially in Bordeaux and the Loire regions, but because it is a hybrid, American-French hybrid, it's like no longer used. It's kind of like, it's blasphemous, oh my gosh. But it's been picked up everywhere else because it grows really well in Australia, South Africa, places like that. Typically used in blends. But I'm really actually digging it. I mean, it's very, very pretty. Let's see, what else do I have? It is a beautiful color. So more about Blue Valley. So they, of course, are family. One thing that can be said about most of the vineyards that are in Virginia producing wines right now, they're pretty much 95% family owned. Like families that have bought plots of land and they're like, oh, we're going to build a big old estate on it. And then they're like, oh, well, we could do some other stuff here, like wine growth here. We're going to join this whole viticulture, you know, type of situation. And this family they're Greek. And the last name is Zissios. So Zissios, and they bought the land in 1996. So it's a brand new vineyard, but they won actually quite a bit of awards, like quite a few.
Where in Virginia?
Shenandoah Valley. So they are in Delapointe, Virginia. So up 66. So I-66, when it was a local, it's up I-66. But in the actual Shenandoah Mountains. And yeah, we do have mountains 30 minutes outside of DC. A lot of people are confused. We have the Blue Ridge, the Blue Ridge Mountains. So there are quite a few wineries that have been established by families there. So they bought the land. They built like this fabulous house. It's like, oh, we're going to build a family house, blah, 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 blah. It is actually, they built their estate from a parcel of land that they actually purchased from the former Supreme Court Justice John Marshall. So he owned this huge, like 300 and something acres of land. And they're like, can we please have a little bit? And they ended up getting some. And so they built the house, did all that kind of stuff. So in 2015 was when they had already, of course, planted grapes, but in 2015 was like their first vintage. So very interesting. So it's new. But what Virginia is becoming like very popular for is like their 100% Petit Verdot, which is, you can't find that many places like 100% Petit Verdot, but they're killing the game. This Blue Valley Wine Company. I ended up, of course, getting this Chambourcin Rosé because I was like, I wanted to see what this was all about. And so on there, they do Cab Sauv, Cab Franc, Chambourcin. They do a Chardonnay, Sauv Blanc, Viognier, a
Yes.
Muscat, and a Muscat Otonnel. Did I say that right? You know, you got to correct me, wine student.
Muscat what?
Muscat is Ottonel. They have so many like different ones that they are like they're growing right now. And I know I'm sidebarring off because I got to get back to the wine. They're growing like 28 varieties in Virginia. Like the people are fearless because they don't care. They don't have like this whole like, oh, I can only do it this way. You know, they don't have this hoity-toity thing about what's going on. But back to the wine. It's this beautiful color. And on the nose, it's very, very earthy still. So it's earthy, kind of grassy. I mean, like it smells like almost fresh airs and berries, you know, fresh air and berries. I put down berries, some plums, and let's see, what else did I put down? It's just super berry, very earthy. Let's see, what else? It is, I forgot to talk about the alcohol content, didn't write that down. It's 12.5% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
And it's funny because you can do it room temp or chill it. And I chilled it. I've been doing a whole bunch of reading. They're like, oh, well, what temperature should you do it? I just saw rosé and I stuck it in the refrigerator. But then I went on and did some other stuff. And they're like, oh, you can do it at a little warmer temperature too. Because it really is, while it is a rosé, it's quite an acidic grape, kind of tannic. So yeah, but I'm actually enjoying it. Like I did not think at all, you know, I saw it, I thought that it was an awesome color and it was just something I wanted to try. I had never had this grape before. So I went all in. And I have never had this before, but when I was doing like my research on it, I was like, this would be something that I wouldn't necessarily, it's rosé, but it's not like a light rosé, if you get what I'm saying. So they recommended burgers, seared steak, gamey meat. So like venison, veal, anything that you would probably find in the Shenandoah Valley, in the Shenandoah Mountains, and then tomato-based pasta. So this would actually be very good with like a cheesy tomato pasta, something like that. It would be awesome with that. So long way around of me saying that's what I'm drinking. That's what I'm drinking.
I love it. It sounds amazing. I'm obsessed with the color. It all sounds amazing. Fantastic.
So yeah, I would recommend this for anyone that wants to try something totally different. And it has a very interesting finish, just a longer finish than like the typical rosé.
Good.
So,
nice. Okay.
Yeah. So Des, what you drinking this week?
I am drinking a wine from the Williamsburg Winery. And that's actually, okay, so I was gifted this wine by my sister-in-law brother. And my sister-in-law is like, when I lived in DC, when we go to wineries, that she was like my wine buddy. Like she's a great person to go with because she knows about her wines. She loves tasting. And yeah, so I went to this winery with them a long time ago when I lived there. I shouldn't say long time ago. It was maybe 5-6 years. I make it sound like it was so long ago, but so long ago. Yeah, went to this winery with them. And so I have a bottle of the 2017 Norton Virginia Limited Release. And I figured I would start off with a little bit of history about Norton, and I was so excited when I started doing some like diving in about the Norton Grape. I found out so much, and I'm about to share with you guys. It's really fascinating. So the Norton Grape is said to be America's oldest wine grape. It is cultivated in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, in the 1820s, and it's actually named after Dr. Daniel Norton, who was a physician, and he had a farm in Richmond, Virginia. And his hobby was to effort development of strain of wine grapes. And so he had this like little experimental vineyard, and he found the seedling, the Norton, and in, I'm trying to think what year. So yeah, they say it's between 1818 and 1828 that he discovered this. And his goal was to make an extraordinary quality wine. And by 1840, this Norton grape had spread throughout Virginia, Missouri, and even Arkansas. And in 1873, this wine, well, the Norton grape, was noted the best red wine of all the nation, according to the Vienna State Fair. Vienna State Fair? Hold on, let me look at my notes. Vienna World Fair, actually. But 1873, that's pretty phenomenal. So like basically, so it's called the Norton, and the Norton, it sounds very similar to a Zinfandel. It's very jammy, it's very fruit forward. This particular wine that I'm drinking, I did show you the bottle, but trying to show you the color of the wine there. It's so it's known for this dark, deep, like bluish purple tint, and it's jammy, it's full bodied, it's got dark cherries, raspberry, strawberry, nice kind of floral hints, a little bit of lilac in there, spices, cocoa, I would even say some chocolate in there. It's really, really good. It's got a nice long lingering finish. And I looked up the winemaker's notes on this, and one of his quotes were that they said that the 2017 may be the very best Norton that they ever created.
Oh, wow.
Very excited. Like I poured it out. I wanted to like treat it very, it's my very special guest. So poured it into my aerator, let it breathe. And so I did take a sip, and like I've been loving this. I'm slowly sipping because we have a wine fly situation here that I have to take care of. I've got to dig up the dead in a little bit. So
and he's enjoying it. He's in there like,
yeah, he's just in there full of like literally just doing a backstroke.
Grapes. It's so funny because what, like 90% of, well, I wouldn't say 90%. I'm not sure what it is right now. Is it like around 70% of all the wine is out in Cali right now, produced in California now?
Say that again?
In terms of the amount of wine that's coming out and the wine being produced in the United States right now. I'm sure
it's coming out of California?
Yeah, most of it, like 75%. But
I would be surprised at that because you've really got so many. You've got Napa, you've got Santa Barbara, there's Temecula. I mean, there's so much.
There's so much. So like, it's funny because like, I think Washington is like right behind it. And then you have all the other states that get in line. And
Oregon.
Yes, Oregon is killing it. Like those Pinot Noirs coming out of there. Amazing.
But you also have the East Coast. You've got New York.
Exactly. And they grow a lot of Chambourcin and Petit Verdot in New York. I was doing all this. I was like, oh, this is so interesting. But to piggyback off what you said with Williamsburg, and it's funny because one of the quotes that they had is like, viticulture is old as America. And so Jamestown was established, like when they literally got there and established Jamestown. And then 12 years after Jamestown was established, they passed a law that every male colonist had to tend to 10 grapevines. They had to have them and 10 to 10. So they weren't going to run out of wine now. That's one thing they said. Right. That was the law. The law when it was established after Jamestown. But, you picked up like right at the end of the 18th century. And then Thomas Jefferson dedicated 2,000 acres. He devoted 2,000 acres in the Virginia area, in Shenandoah, that whole area, to viticulture. Yeah. So Virginia's been doing wine for a long time. It didn't fall off until Prohibition, but
And the thing that I find so interesting is because like so many varieties that we drink now are from other countries, mainly Europe. And so it was so surprising to see that this grape was, this is an American grape.
An American grape.
I should have saved this for 4th of July, but
we can always get another bottle.
Yeah, we can always get another one. So going back to this wine, this is actually, so it's 75% Norton, the Norton grape. and it's 25% Petite Verdot, which I think is so interesting that you kind of had a little bit of that in yours as well. And we did touch on Petite Verdot a while back, but I can never forget Petite Verdot because it's small grape, big flavor, and it does add such a nice.
And it just lingers on the vine. It likes to hang there.
Yeah, it lingers. Like,
it just
lingers.
My
gosh, it's so good. The alcohol percent on this is only 12. I shouldn't say only 12. It's 12%. It's fine. I'm used to drinking a little bit higher.
14s.
But that means that I can just. What did you say?
I said the 14s.
Yeah. I used to have this belief that if it was under 12.5 and I was like shopping in the store, like there was no way it was going into my basket. But I'm opening up my vine now. I'm open to trying different things.
I'm glad that you are. I'm so glad that you are. But
And so this is the 2017 Norton. When I was digging and doing my research, one of my favorite things to do at the beginning of summer was the Vintage Virginia Wine Festival, which now that you're there, oh my gosh, it's going to be so exciting. We are going to be
take a look, breaks up notebook.
Well, okay. So I was just like, getting all sentimental because like this is the Vintage Virginia Wine Festival, like to like me and my family and my friends was like, how people get excited about like Kentucky Derby or these big events. Like this was our big event. This was like the summer kickoff. Like you got your beautiful sundresses. Like it was the whole thing, like, the hats. And then you just go, there's like tens of wines, so many wines. And there's live music and there's like, it's just a wonderful, it's usually 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. It actually might start on Friday, but so I was surprised to see that they actually are opening up this year, June 5th. I think maybe it's still a little bit too early for me to be out there like meandering.
June 5th. See, the thing for me is it's outside, so I'm not too I'm not, and it's gorgeous. Like I think anyone who has never been to who's never been to like the Shenandoah Valley or like out in the mountains on the East Coast, because I know a lot of people have been to the mountains or the hills, whatever you all want to call it, on the West Coast. But it's literally beautiful. It has a blue hue, which is why it's called the Blue Ridge. But the mountains are just rolling, and you're just like perched on the mountainside. It's the whole total experience. But I've made a note of that, June the 5th.
Yes, June 5th. I mean. Yeah, and in regards to that, what you're saying, like, any wine region is beautiful. Like, I can never get over, like, rolling hills of vineyards, but Virginia is gorgeous because there's just so much, like, especially like Williamsburg area, like there's just all these beautiful tall trees, and then all this, you're driving down this like whimsical lane, and then all of a sudden it opens up and there's this gorgeous winery. Like the views in Virginia are just absolutely breathtaking. Like I am so envious that you're, close to all these wonderful wineries. But now it's like I've got the West Coast and you've got the East Coast, and then we can
exactly. And you guys, we will be together soon. So
yes,
we're going to be together soon. So it'll be absolutely awesome, and we're going to have so much footage from all of the wine.
And I get my second vaccination next Wednesday.
Raise the roof.
I'm acting like all these things are going to change. Like I'm just going to go and like, sow my wild oats or something, and it's not going to happen because I'm an introvert. So I'm going to get my shot and come back home. But at least I know that I have it.
You come back home for 2 weeks, and then you just like let it marinate, and then you can join you can join the Vax and Wax crew.
Vax and Wax. Part of the Hot Girl Summer 2021, Vax and Wax.
It's like the Hot Girl Summer within reason is what it is. It's like, it's a sensible Hot Girl Summer, definitely, still social distancing, masking. Like, I thought the most hilarious thing I saw last week was a guy, I don't even know if I sent it to you guys in our group chat, but there was the guy who was standing in the park in New York City, and he had a laminated copy of his vaccination certificate hanging around his neck. He said he was ready to mingle And he said he was ready. And I mean, I thought it was hilarious, but it's kind of one of those things like, oh, he and I can talk. You're vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. So,
Oh
it's amazing. I'm glad that we can smile. I know like last year, this was something that kind of came out of like our struggle with being able to connect and do the wine how we normally would. But I'm so excited now that, some things that we do have some loosening up, of some things. So I'm looking forward to it. I got to put this on a list. I got to tell everybody now and be like, okay, so mark on your list.
Yeah.
June the 5th, we're going to be there.
June 5th. Like, yeah, I'm not per se promoting, but I will not be in attendance this year, but 2022, I'm going because
she's not promoting, but I will be there. I'm just letting you guys know. So if you
I'm
see
not
on
saying
when
go
you
get
see on
wild at the wine festival, but
when you see on the entire CruBouge IG timeline that is nothing but wine and nothing but tasting and nothing but BA, hey, it's just know that it's me enjoying this Virginia Vintage Wine Festival.
You will love it so much. Literally, it took me a few years to get it correct because like I would get so excited that I wouldn't eat in the morning and like not be properly hydrated. And so after like maybe 3 hours of like tasting in the sun, true story, the first year it is said that I stole some little girl's hula hoop and was just out there hula hooping to the music, like feeling real good, and then passed out in the grass. So I did better after that. I got it was a good
we have all learned our lesson about eating before we go to tastings. I think we learned.
And hydrate, especially if you're like standing out in the sun and drinking.
Yeah.
Woo, that'll take you. I mean,
I think when you have the friend that jumps in the car with the baguette and the cheese, you're like, come on, we're ready to go, saddle up. So
that's me now. Like, yeah, if we go wine tasting, especially like, we get in the cars at like 9 o'clock in the morning, like I'm the one passing out like, carbs. Because I've been there too many times to count. Like,
that sweet churned butter on baguette is always a wonderful, wonderful thing before you really dig into wine tasting. Especially when it's a what do you call it? A marathon, because it definitely is a marathon. And people, this is not the type of roads. These are not the type of roads that you want to be caught on. Slipping. No, you just go ahead and lay in the grass and sleep it off, and then
or you have a driver. You can
rent a car.
Rent
a driver.
Rent a driver. They also used to do shuttle buses that will pick you up from like probably your area somewhere in like Northern Virginia and bring you down there, and it's great because
Pentagon City.
It's like a whole bus and everyone's singing and it's literally so much fun. I'm so envious if you get to go, but it's okay because
if I get to go, I mean, like I have nothing on my agenda.
When you go.
I look forward to all of your footage from whatever you do this weekend. I know that you'll be going somewhere, so I look forward to whatever you throw up for us to see.
It's very exciting, but I feel like all my weekends are now just like something wine related. If it's not wine tasting, it's.
But why is that bad? Like that's absolutely awesome.
I'm not complaining. Again,
it's so funny.
I'm loving everything about like what's happening in life right now.
My friend Alita, it's really an experience. My friend Alita was like, "Hey, so you didn't get back to me on going to do wine. Like it's almost like a thing. Like it's like a going down." And I was like, I'm sorry, Alita. It was like, please charge it to my mind because not to my heart. Because so now we're, she's number one on the list. As soon as I get off the phone, I'll be like June 5th, we'll be there or be square. Like we need to figure it out. We need to go in on a party bus. Let's do this.
I'll send you the link so you have all the information. But yes, you will absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And tell her I said hi.
I will. She always says hi to you guys. Always. So
happy. Yeah. And I'm so grateful that she's watching, and that all of you are watching. Anybody who is out there watching us. So
thank you guys so much. We know this is a longer episode.
But
we're catching up. We're catching up. Oh, but we're going to be doing a live soon, so look for that. And then we got some good stuff coming down the pike. Like we got a Viognier and some scents and some other stuff that's going to be coming on down the line. So please stay tuned for that. And we're excited. So
we are
very excited. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. So we will see you next week, and we really are going to try to make it a week.
Oh, we're gonna make it a week. I'm like, I'm gonna
3 weeks again.
So we're gonna. I might have furniture then. You know.
Hey, but even now, I mean, it's a new place. It's awesome. Whatever. Good vibes.
All right.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you guys. Talk to you later.